So good evening, you amazing people. We were having some technical difficulties there, and I've just realised because of the technical difficulties, I also forgot to send this out onto Twitter and to send it out onto LinkedIn as well. So I'll do that whilst we're actually now live on Facebook. But how's everybody doing? What starts of the week with all that tech malarkey going down. It's just too hot, isn't it? It's just boiling. Put a one in the chat if you found it difficult to actually be productive today because you've been too hot. I have. I've literally come in this office 20 times, jumped in here for like 10 minutes, gone, oh, bit hot, I've just got to go and get a drink. Come back in, oh, bit hot, just got to go and get a drink. It's been one of those days for me. I've got through enough stuff, but yeah, it's just so bloody warm. I'm not complaining, though, because I don't mind the warm weather. I'd rather have it like this than just it throwing down. But typical British thing, innit, where you're like, I like it hot. Oh, but I don't like it hot. So yeah, it's all melted. But everything looks like it's good now, and we are in stream. Everything is well, and I am now going out on LinkedIn and on Twitter. So thank you to those people watching on LinkedIn and Twitter. Means the world. Yeah, that is now streaming. We got through all the tech difficulties. We are good. Right. Loads to discuss with you tonight. Loads and loads and loads and loads and loads. And something really exciting at the end that I want to sort of tease a little bit because I am going to be opening up the registration for a program that I do once a year called First TV Role Fast Track. Anyone who's looking for their first TV role, maybe you've been hitting a brick wall, you've been trying for a while and you've been struggling and you're like, look, I know I'm good enough to do this, but you just don't have a solid plan. I do one program a year for 100 actors. That's sort of like the intake called First TV Role Fast Track. And it's going to be opening up for registration again at the end of July. I'm going to play a video at the end of this from previous people who have been through the program, telling you a bit about it. We've had 2 people just last week book their first TV role through that program as well. So it's big. I love it. It's like 5 of the best weeks of my life because you get like 18 hours of pre-recorded content, and then you get 5 weeks of live coaching from me and Petch, and then you get a year's worth of support on that program as well to ensure you have the best chance of landing that TV role. You've got to put the work in. It's hard work, but ultimately we will hold your hand the entire way. So loads to discuss. Before that, though, let us know how your week has started. If you had any exciting things to share with the community, I will give you a little shout out. And I'm just going to go over to adsonthis.tv now. Because I want to recap, first of all, on an amazing session that we had with a great casting director last week called Jonny Boutwood. You'll find it in the members area, the full 2-hour chat. If you're not a member, I'm going to play a little replay, like mashup thing out for you in a second. But it's this session here you can see on your screen if you're watching the video. It's called Launching Jonny Boutwood Casting with TV casting director Jonny Boutwood. Jonny has worked for one of the biggest casting directors in the industry for the last 7.5 years, Shaheen Baig. They've cast massive shows. Like some of the biggest things out there, stuff like Peaky Blinders. Johnny cast with Shaheen Boiling Point, starring Stephen Graham, the TV series that's going to be out later this year. You also got stuff like The Gallows Pole, Hannah, that's an Amazon show as well. But they do some massive stuff at Shaheen's office, and Johnny is now going to set up on his own in August. This was sort of like all of the gossip on that, all of the inside info on how Johnny's setting up on his own, how you as an actor can get on his casting radar. We go really deep on his casting process, and he even gives out his brand new email address. So one that you probably won't even have unless you're a member of adsonthis.tv for his new, obviously his new setup. So between now and August is just a perfect time to get on Johnny's casting radar. And this is the sort of like detective work you need to do as an actor. Because Johnny even says on this session, if you watch the full session in the members area, that now is a really good time to drop him your show reel. He talks about how you do that, obviously which email address you send that to, because he's in that sort of like transitionary period between sort of finishing up at Shaheen's and going out on his own. And obviously he's eager to meet actors that he's never met before. So here's a little 2-minute mashup of what you missed if you've not seen that session. If you are a member, catch up on it this week. The video is in your members area right now. Adsonthis.tv. If you're not a member, get a membership and you can unlock this instantly. But while this is playing, if you were there, drop me like your favourite takeaway in the chat on Facebook now if you're here live. After working alongside top TV casting director Shaheen Baig for 7.5 years, casting huge shows like The Gallows Pole, Amazon's Hannah, upcoming Stephen Graham drama Boiling Point, he's now getting ready to set up on his own. It's casting director Jonny Boutwood back in the house. Jonny, thank you so much for being here. How are you? Jonny Boutwood Casting is launching in August 2023. Just give us a little bit of context on where you're up to right now. And I just want, ideally, if you can, just the inside scoop for everyone here. Everyone here is joined live. I just want them to get this information first.
From now until August, I work with Sheen, but I've also, we have a very open dialogue. I'm going to have some meetings with producers, hosts and directors.
So if you were an actor right now, how would you get on Jonny Boutwood's casting radar?
You could email me, probably is the best thing, because I haven't got much traffic on my email at the moment, so it's quite free.
Let's talk about it. Emails and getting them right. What do you need to hear from people that's actually useful for you, Jonny?
I want to see people passionate about the industry, seeing that they're doing their research, watching stuff, the technical side of it, having a link to your showreel, headshot, maybe a link to your CV, spotlight CV.
What do you want to see in showreels and self-tapes?
I think it's all about actors acting on instinct and being truthful. I think, when an actor is pushing it too much, it can become overacting. But don't put something on a showreel just for the sake of it. If it doesn't feel like it's representing you as an actor or as a person, don't put it on there.
Top tips for just nailing an in-person audition.
What do you think of dress code, if you like, in the room?
Ultimately, I'm looking at your acting. I'm not going to be looking at your costume, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. But if it helps you as the actor go, that's quite nice, that's going to help me get in the role, do it.
A little bit of your thoughts on look or opportunity, I suppose, for kind of actors.
This industry, it is hard, but it is a lot of fun. Everyone, I would hope, is on the same wavelength of wanting to make good work, fun work, that shines the industry in a really good light.
Boom, the full 2-hour chat. Yeah, I think it's 2 hours, maybe just even over 2 hours with Jonny. Is in the members area literally right now. actonthis.tv. Get a membership if you've not got one. You can unlock it instantly, along with literally probably 400 hours of other conversations with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers in the game, the best people in TV. There's a few people saying they've emailed Jonny, and then I noticed that Nick, you said that you'd emailed him after that session, and that you said the address didn't work. I've been chatting to Jonny on that email this week. It definitely works. Just check the spelling, mate. Remember, Jonny is spelled with no H. It's Jonny. A lot of people just spell his name wrong. They put an H in there. But I can guarantee you the address that you gave out on that session works, because I've used it like loads. So yeah, we've been chatting. It definitely works. What else is going on? Josh says he's been sending emails out this week to different people as well. He's hoping that one that he sent today will be a success, because he was very specific, sending an email to a show which has just been renewed for another series. Josh, mate, everything crossed for you, dude. You need to be working more. 100%, man. 100%, definitely. I hope the play went well, Josh. I saw that you've been doing that recently as well. So hopefully there'll be more on that. Maya, what are you doing? You're listening while you're filling in the cracks in the drive with sand, because you've washed the cement away before when you wash the drive. I did that once with the bricks on my mum's house. I got a jet washer. I thought, this will be good. I'll go and clean my mum's house, and then just basically nearly blew it apart. Definitely don't do it. Don't shoot the render in the bricks with a jet wash. Bad news, particularly if it's like an older house. I learnt my lesson there. And then I said pay for someone to come out and fill them all in again. So I feel your pain, Maya. I know exactly what you mean. Let's have a look. Katora said she liked that session when we started discussing the variety article. Katora, yeah. You said you were so passionate and vexed, made an interesting conversation. Yeah, this is what we spoke about last week a little bit. Remember I hinted about this variety article that had gone out. Basically, just apparently 200 actors had all got together and basically put this manifesto together about how casting directors are treating actors with disdain, making them do self-tapes. And I was just like, just with respect, it's the biggest, it's not respectful, is it? It's the biggest load of bollocks I've ever seen in my life. There were 2 out of the 8 points that I could kind of get on board with. The rest of them I just thought was so entitled and nonsense. Like, you shouldn't have to learn your lines. How can you put a performance in if you don't have to learn your lines, okay? Other things on there were like 4 days is not enough time. 4 days to do an audition, a self-tape, is enough time. It just is. Like, because I've never even really had 4 days notice for an in-person audition. So if you want more than 4 days for a self-tape, like, sometimes you just, if you genuinely can't do it in 4 days, maybe you just have to skip that self-tape like you would have had to in the real world if you just couldn't get down to London on a particular day or whatever. But there were so many points that we discuss in that session with Jonny there. And let me know your thoughts, because maybe, you've got different opinions and they're completely valid as well. And maybe you can change my mind on a few things. But I just thought, God, like, it's so entitled when years ago everyone was complaining about how casting directors were taking the mick by having to make actors travel from London to Manchester or Manchester to London at a day's notice, and how expensive it was on the train because you didn't get enough notice. Then casting directors go, right, okay, do your self-tape at home. It's fine. It won't cost you anything. Do it in your own time, as many takes as you like. Get it right, like on your own terms, effectively. And people are still complaining. It's like people just can't win. It's like, look, this is the industry you are in. You don't have to do this. You get to do this. You get to self-tape. You get to audition. Be grateful for that. And if you need more time, ask for more time. I've asked for an extra week on a tape once and got it. And in my head, I was like, if I can't get this time because I was away doing another job, I just don't do that self-tape. It's okay. Thanks for the opportunity, but I can't take that right now. So that's fine. There's going to be another 60 years worth of opportunity. So we talk all about that in that article. And then me and Petch recorded an episode of Table Talk that's dropping in July for members of ActsOnThis.tv. That's our own podcast that we do once a quarter, where we sum up all of the issues that we've seen going on in the community. And we dive into that there a little bit again. But again, I'd love to know your thoughts. But the consensus on that call with Jonny was that self-tapes on a whole are really beneficial, are really positive, give actors an opportunity that wouldn't normally get an opportunity. Actors with disabilities, Spotlight, it made me laugh for years. Well, not laugh, but laugh at Spotlight about, how inclusive they wanted to be. And yet their building was not accessible for disabled people for years and years and years. I'm like, well, what about those people? How do they audition? Well, they can do a self-tape. That works. What about people with kids and they can't get... have to pay for a train ticket and they can't get childcare, which would cost loads of money as well. Well, maybe if they do it at home and they could get friends or families to look after their kids, even in their house while they tape, maybe that's easy. Maybe that's cheaper. It means casting directors can spread the net wider. They can see people they wouldn't normally see. They can take a chance on people they wouldn't normally take a chance on, because when they're bringing people into the room, they're effectively co-signing that person to the director and going, I'm bringing in the people I know are good. And yet, an unknown actor, they might not want to take that risk. So they go, I've never seen this actor act before, but I'll ask them to do a self-tape, because if it's no good, I just won't show it the director. There are so many positives. And I just thought the word disdain that this article used, we're being treated with disdain. I was just like, bullshit, you are. Like, come on. Like, look that word up and see what it actually means, because it's not... it's not applicable to be given a self-tape. So yeah, let me know what you think. I was quite passionate about it, but I'm not saying I'm right. I'm perfectly happy with being wrong on stuff. So do let me know if you completely disagree with me, and that's totally fine. Because that's the debate, isn't it? That's how we make progress. By saying I'm right and no one can change my mind. Like, that's how wars begin. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Liz filmed my first TV credit last week. Liz, I got your email. I'm so sorry I've not replied. It's been mental, but huge congratulations. That was so chuffed when you sent me that email. Honestly, well freaking done, Liz, because you're really good. You're really, really good. Like, I really hope this is the start of like a bit of a snowball for you. Yeah, when that's out, let us know when we can watch that, Liz. That's awesome. Definitely. What else is going on? Sandra says she's decided to give up on German casting directors, because Sandra's from Germany, and just only concentrate on international work, then doubted again, and then got a self-tape request from the UK. Sandra, I've been to probably 4 read-throughs in the last 6 weeks for some major TV dramas for Netflix, Amazon, ITV, and the BBC. Every single one of them have had European cast in them. Some people German, a lot of French actually recently. I'm trying to think what other nationalities without giving anything away. I think there might have been some Italian actually as well. Lots of French though. If anyone can speak French, it seems to be a good time. There's a lot of French actors in the in 2 shows actually. Yeah, French, and what was it? Maybe even Turkish as well. Honestly, just in terms of what a lot of international actors think, is that, you know, there's just going to be no work for them in their own language or their own accent in the UK. All I can say is there's absolutely loads. Make sure every casting director knows about you wherever you're from, whether you're from the UK or not. Like, use that as your USP. If you're not from the UK, don't just think, right, I'm going to learn a British accent and I'm going to blend in with every other British actor, sound the same, look the same. Like, don't do that. Like, play to, you know, your uniqueness. There's roles out there, like, for everybody. Definitely. Kirsten, how you doing? Managed to get on tonight. I love the cell tape request. No costs involved. Precisely. I absolutely agree with you. Definitely. Right, let's have a little look at what else we've got to show you tonight. So I've shown you that little mashup with Jonny Boutwood. I'm going to show you another clip from Jonny's session as well for those people who haven't got a membership yet and just want to give you some value if you can't afford one yet. It's only £6 a week, but if it's not the right time for you, I've just got another clip from that session. And again, it's on a bit of a controversial topic, but it's on a topic that I'm like, it shouldn't be controversial, right? And that is open calls. So you will see some casting directors putting briefs out, particularly on Twitter, if they're looking for something very specific. And they'll say things like, you know, no acting experience necessary. It's an open call that anybody can apply for. So Jonny and Shaheen Baig did this for Boiling Point, an incredible, like I say, an incredible BBC drama starring Stephen Graham and a whole host of amazing actors. And they initially were looking for people to fill really small roles, but who had lived experience in the hospitality industry, because those people with lived experience in hospitality would be able to bring something to those smaller roles that are just a couple of lines maybe, that people who hadn't had that lived experience, you know, they wouldn't be able to bring it. Yes, you're an actor. Yes, you can pretend. But, you know, imagine how, whatever you do for your day job, imagine a role in a show coming up where it's doing your day job. You're going to be able to do that better than me, whose day job that isn't, whether you're acting or not. Like, you do it every single day. So a barista, for example, is going to be able to make a cup of coffee on a machine, you know, like a proper, you know, one of them proper Starbucks style, Costa style machines. They're going to be able to do that so much more authentically on screen if they do that as a day job than I would be, because I'd go in and go, what do I do? How, you know, I'd look awkward. I remember one of my first jobs was on Emmerdale and I was a barman. I'd never been behind a bar in my life. I'm in front of the bars ordering the drinks. I'm never behind making them. And just making a simple drink and making it look like I did this every day was quite difficult. And even for continuity, sometimes I remember thinking, oh God, I put the ice in the glass first before the Coke, before I, you know, put the lemon in once I'd poured it. Now I've put it in with the ice. Oh God, I'm not been consistent. Whereas if you did that every day, you would be able to do it that easily, wouldn't you? So yeah, actors get pissed off because they're like, what are you asking for real people for? I've spent all my life training, blah, 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 blah. And we talked about this. You know, Jonny doesn't just cast off open calls. Obviously, he casts some of the biggest drama in the world. So you need very, very, you know, very, very talented actors, you know, in those shows. But here's just a little bit on that, and let me know your thoughts. The title is pretty much my opinion on this. Just wanted to sort of cover how you did this in Boiling Point, you know, using open calls plus professional actors, you know, when casting.
When we were doing it, we had certain roles in mind. There was actors who emailed in, and we did actually tape some of those actors because some were non-represented. So it does open up those avenues for actors. So you might cast a professional actor in one role, and you might cast a non-represented actor / an actor a person who's never really acted before maybe and just given it a go. That itself is wonderful because giving opportunity to people should be what this is about. You know, this industry, we're not saving lives, but I also see the point of the actors. I've got many mates who are actors. My fiance is an actor. I do completely understand the frustrations or that can happen from an open call from an actor's point of view.
The thing for me is when actors complain about it, a big part of me just goes, you just don't believe in yourself then. If you are threatened by somebody who's worked in hospitality and has never acted, if you believe that they can honestly, you know, and I'm not saying there's not going to be diamonds you'll find, of course you will, you'll find people who are brilliant, but those people who are like, you know, completely threatened, like you're just going to give a job to anybody, like that's not the case. And it's like, if you're threatened by someone who's never acted before, maybe you want to actually sort of look at like how much you put it into your own craft and how much you believe in yourself. Because for me, I'd be like, I'm going to put everything in to make sure that I get an audition for that. And Jonny's going to see my tape. And it's not about all those other people. I'm going to do such a good job myself that they could see 100 people from hospitality in an open call, but they're not going to be as good as me. And let's just be honest, right? When we all started off, you know, before any of us had trained or like been at drama school or whatever, an 18-year-old Ross would have freaking jumped through hoops to get, to that open call for a Shane Meadows or a Phil Barantini project. I wouldn't be going, that's not fair. Don't give me an audition. You should just give it to the people who've already been to drama school. So I'd have been like, come on, give me a shot. Let me take on these people at drama school and see if I'm as good as them.
But I would like to reassure people, it's the open call and the professional route as well. We want to go down. So on both sides, when we can.
Full chat with Jonny, like I say, in the members area right now. But yeah, what he said there, what Jonny said there, he wants to assure people that they're looking at both routes. They want some authenticity for some of the roles. They want to see some people potentially for those who have just lived experience of whatever that that job is that role consists of. But obviously, their bread and butter, the main roles are cast from. From professional actors via Spotlight, etc. But yeah, my whole thing there is like, don't be threatened. Don't be threatened by people. If you're like, oh my God, that's it, then they're going to get all the roles. What, you think somebody who's had no experience is going to have more success than you, who might have trained, put your entire life into this? If that happens, that just means you're not working hard enough to be brutal. Because if you really want to fight for a role, maybe you did work in hospitality 3 years ago, or whatever, but now you're just focused on the acting or whatever. You would just, if that was me, I would make sure, I would move heaven and earth to make sure that Jonny knew that I existed, and whether that was through my agent or whatever. Don't worry about it. Don't be threatened by this stuff. It seems to me that actors just love looking for excuses about why they're not succeeding, as opposed to, just cracking on with work, really, and just going, right, I will make sure that Jonny knows me above all those other people. There are ways to make sure that people are aware that you exist in this industry. So don't focus on anything that's like, just don't focus on like what could be a potential problem in your head. Just focus on solutions. It's it's going to lead to way more opportunity for you. Florina says, really, there are European accents in British movies and TV. Honest to God, like, I told you, I couldn't believe how many roles there were for French people in this TV drama that I was at a read-through for last week. It's a 3-part TV drama. It's not been announced yet, so I can't really say any more than that. But a lot of it's going to end up being filmed in France as well. Half in France, half in the UK. And it's a really big show. Stars some great people. Great story as well. Really, really good story. But yeah, there's not really been, I'm trying to think, there's probably only been one in the last 6 read-throughs that I've been to where there hasn't been someone in that show with a European accent, where they wanted to cast authentically as well. It wasn't a British person putting on that accent. That happened once, but that was because they just, they couldn't find somebody who could do that role, who was native to where they wanted them to be from. But everybody else was authentically French, Italian, German, and Turkish. I'm sure they were. I think they were Turkish. But yeah, honestly, it happens all the time. So make sure casting directors know who you are authentically for you, not just like I say, just trying to fit in and just be bland. If you're a European actor or a actor from America or Canada or Australia or wherever, and you just want to come to the UK industry and just nail a British accent and then just be put up for all the British roles against all the British people, you're just missing out on so much. Why would you want to go and blend in with another 40,000 actors when you can stand out on your own? And yeah, you're not going to get every single role, but when those roles come up, that require someone, from where you are from with the accent you have, you'll get auditions for those all the time. So please make casting directors know that you're here, that you exist. Liz says, I love that they do open calls. I think it's important, especially for working class actors. Yeah, it's bloody expensive. Why not give people a chance who can't afford drama school, who may be naturally talented but not had the chance? Yeah, completely agree. And that was my point at the end of that clip as well. When none of us are trained. I mean, I went to drama school, spent tens of thousands of pounds training. Before I'd done that, I wouldn't have said, to someone who said, oh, do you want to come and audition for this, Ross? I wouldn't have said, oh, no, I won't audition for that yet because that's taking opportunities away from people who have been to drama school. I'd have been like, hell yeah, put me up against those people who are at drama school and let me see if I'm as good as them or better than them. Because then maybe I won't even go to drama school. I did go to drama school because I think it's really important to train. But yeah, I still would have, who wouldn't want a shot? Those people who are complaining are just jealous that they're not getting a shot. And if you're not getting a shot, take responsibility for the fact you're not getting a shot. Go, what can I do more? All of us could do more. I know I could have been more productive today. I blamed my lack of productivity on the heat. It's a pretty shit excuse. I could have worked harder today. That's just being honest. And I think most people probably watching or listening to this are not going to bed with the tank completely empty, going, I maximised every minute of the day today for my career. You probably, like I did, spent at least 20 minutes scrolling TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, something like that. Because, I do that. Even when I get on, I posted lots of social medias today for Acts on This and lots of trailers for sessions and stuff like that. And, like just marketing for actsonthis.tv. But it's difficult because I get on there and I'm posting it, and as it's uploading, I'm going, oh, it's just uploading, and I'll start scrolling through some stuff, and then before I know it, I'm like, Ross, you spent 15 minutes watching cats and dogs run around. Like, it's great, but I could have put that 15 minutes into sending an email to start a conversation with someone that doesn't know who I am. That would probably have been better. So yeah, let's just again take responsibility for where we're at, because it's really empowering as well. When you just take full accountability for where you're at, you're like, right, come on. You ever had one of those days where you really have had enough of just not having a result in something? You've gone, right, fuck it, come on, let's go. I've almost like hit a rock bottom with this. And you get a little bit sort of angry at sometimes I got, it's probably like a bit too extreme, but I used to say, I am disgusted at the lack of progress I have made here. I'm disgusted at myself in a positive way, to go, right, come on, Ross, you can do better. Come on. Sort your shit out, mate. And start doing, doing more, start taking more action. It's empowering when you go, right, it's no one else's fault but mine, in a good way. Let's have a look. Florina says, that's what I was talking to my mum about earlier, how sometimes we just run in circles instead of using that time to work, grow, create. Yeah, it's very easy. Very easy to get distracted and procrastinate. It really, really is. Laura says, my writing partner and I finally finished our pitch deck last weekend because we've been putting it off far too long. Procrastination is far too easy. It is. It really is. And procrastination is just a pattern. Anyone who did the Bulletproof Actor program with me and high performance coach Matt Hall last year, we cover how to absolutely annihilate procrastination in your life. And procrastination really is. It's not a habit. It isn't. People say like, I'm a procrastinator. This is kind of what I do. They take it on almost as an identity. It's just more of a pattern that you just need to break and interrupt. And all you're doing when you're procrastinating is moving away from pain towards pleasure. So you might have had that pitch deck to write, Laura, and you're like, actually, this is taxing. This is going to take mental effort. I might have to, I don't know, like spend 8 hours on this today to get it finished. I've got to organise a Zoom call, my writing partner. It's really hot. I just want to go out. And then you might see literally, I don't know, look at what we do when we procrastinate. Sometimes I do crazy things. I'll see a mark on the desk that's been there for 3 months and go, right, I'm going to clean that mark now. anything to move away from the pain towards anything more pleasurable. So yeah, it's just a matter of breaking that pattern when you see it, when you see it coming up. And sometimes that means just basically putting yourself in a situation where you have no distractions. Put do not disturb on your phone so you don't get any texts. Delete Instagram from your phone for the day so you're not tempted to go on and just scroll through some reels. It can be, a nightmare, sort of like just getting stuck in that little habit loop of that pattern loop of of procrastination. Let's have a look. Satch says, what are you saying, Satch? You feel like you can breathe when you come on these chats. Nice, good. I like that. It's hopefully, yeah. It's a great little community we've got here, isn't it? Though I love these Monday nights because it's like everybody just comes together. Massively appreciate you watching, and yeah, hopefully you go away. I do them on a Monday because then you've got the rest of the week to go and act on this. That's why it's called Acts on This. There's no point in doing these chats on a Thursday night because then you've only got one day of the week. Hopefully, these might get you out of a funk on a Monday, and you go, right, you know what? Tuesday's going to be different. It's going to be for me. I'm not going to complain about the heat tomorrow. I'm going to do more. Katora says, Bulletproof course was transformational for me. Highly recommend. Thank you, Katora. Anyone interested in really mastering their mindset, go to bulletproofactor.com and get on the waiting list. That course will run again towards the end of this year, probably November time. Before that, we'll be running first TV role fast track for those people who really want to, fast track getting that first TV role. I'll give you details on that in a minute as well. But if you go to actonthis.tv/first, FIRST, you can get on the waiting list for that as well. Right, let's see what else is going on. What else have I got to play for you guys? Let's go back over to my web browser. What have I got here? I think I have got First TV. This was the next thing I was going to talk about, actually. Yeah, First TV Roll Fast Track. So if you go to actonthis.tv/first, you will see this page here. For those on the audio experience, you can't see it, but it's just a sign-up page, basically, to get on a waiting list for this program. I only run this once a year, at a slightly different time each year. But basically, this is the most in-depth coaching program in existence for actors who want to land their first TV credit. Ultimately, like in record time. We've had people. Josh is on here. Josh, you still might have been one of the fastest people to achieve this, mate. Josh got on this program, and I think, did you do it in 4 months, Josh? You were fast, man. You were really, really fast. We've had lots of, dozens and dozens and dozens of actors now go through this program and get their first TV role. Some are now on that, role number 3, role number 4. But if you go to actonthis.tv/first, you can just put your name and email here, and it just puts you on a waiting list. We only let 100 actors in on this a year. The strategies and the tactics that I teach in this, I feel would be watered down if more than 100 actors a year learnt them. This is stuff that I've used in my own career for the last 25 years. That's landed me over 40 TV roles, and they're proper roles, all the, really decent, speaking roles on shows. We're not talking background work or supporting artist stuff. These are legitimate TV roles that you would audition for. And people have landed roles in massive shows, everything from serial dramas to another Josh in the last intake, has been working with Joanna Lumley on a brand new Netflix show called Fool Me Once. So it's applicable for people who want to work in all different types of TV, really. But I will play a little. In fact, before I play a little mashup out of people who have been through this program, let me just show you the actual program so you see what you get. This is the dashboard of the 2022 edition. The 2023 edition will be very similar, but it'll come with 5 weeks of live coaching. So the live coaching will be, a new intake that will be different to the live coaching we did last year. The same, but with different people, if you know what I mean. But it effectively consists of a huge workbook and around about 18 hours of pre-recorded coaching. So you've got the core modules of the program here. There's 5 core modules. We've got pre-recorded Q&A sessions, because I taught this and recorded this course in front of a live audience effectively. So you get to watch it being coached to a live audience, and you get to watch their pre-recorded Q&A sessions, because the questions that they asked will probably be very similar questions you would want to ask. Then we had 4 guest speakers. We had the best headshot photographer, I think, in the industry, a guy called Tony Blake on. We had the best showreel producer in the industry, a guy called Chris Stone, in my opinion. We had Hollyoaks casting director Peter Hunt on. And we also had Mickey Jones, a fantastic serial drama director, who's directed everything from, all the serial dramas, Hollyoaks, EastEnders, Coronation Street, Emmerdale. Awesome guy. You've got a section which is basically your action plan there. And then these bonus calls, these are the weekly bonus calls that we do. We do them for 5 weeks to basically make sure you absolutely understand everything in each module, 1 per module. There's some tutorials there on some tools that we use to really get your emails right for casting directors and your spotlight page. And you also get something called the Ultimate Contacts Database that's only available otherwise by getting a yearly membership to Acts on This. And that's basically the most in-depth database of casting director, casting assistant, casting associate contact details and agent details on Earth. It gets updated every quarter. You get in each module, you will get, that's not a module, it's a Q&A session. In each module, you will get the full video. You will get a audio-only recording as well. We're probably going to do this time as well. And you also get access to a Inner Circle Facebook group, which I've got here. This is private, just for people who do this program. And this is where you will get 12 months of support from me, Petch, and the whole community. How many people are in this group at the moment? How many people have we took through this program? It's not telling me, is it? It's quite a lot, though. There'll be a couple of 100 people in here. And if we scroll down, even like this week, shout out to Saffron. Looks like it's catching. Nick Dutton, you're on here tonight, aren't you? Nick got his first TV role. He did this program, got his first TV role a couple of weeks ago. Saffron's like, I finished this week off with super duper news. After years of hustling, I finally booked my first TV soap credit. I put everything into practice the last year since doing this course. Thanks, Ross and Petch. Consistency certainly is the key. I think your post will be here, Nick. There's Nick's. Just had a deal letter for my first UK TV job. It's basically proven to work, folks. It's not just theory. It's everything that I've learned from being in this industry as a professional actor for the last 25 years condensed into one program that you can take and probably complete in a month. And then, if you really hustle and implement those strategies, and you're anything like Josh, Chadwick, who's on here tonight, you can potentially get that TV role in as little as, what do you do it in 16 weeks, Josh? And 4 months, he says, yeah. So what would that be? 4, 8, 12. Yeah, 16 weeks. That's all it would take. So I'm going to play a little, let me play a little video out from people who, you're on this, Josh, I think. We've just done new testimonials with the last intakes. We've got about another 6 or 7 testimonials with people who were happy to come and, chat on camera with us from the last intake. But this is from the intake before. But Josh, you're on this, I think, mate. If I've got this... here. Yeah, let's have a little watch of this. I can't even remember what we say on this, but this will be quite interesting. It's just about people's struggles that they were facing before doing the program and how the course has helped and that sort of stuff. But I'm so excited to bring a new intake into this. So let's have a little watch of this.
I came to the acting party quite late, so I was quite naive, didn't know anything about anything really. And I just felt I just needed some direction and I wasn't getting... I just didn't know where to turn.
I didn't really know how to write to casting directors confidently or effectively, and what I needed to say to be able to sell myself.
I was just thinking, how the hell am I going to get my first TV job?
I came out of university not knowing anything about the TV industry. I came from a theatre background, done theatre all my career, so I was a bit clueless.
I've done 2 TV roles, a commercial and a film.
I got my first TV role. I did Emmerdale.
It led to my first TV role on Coronation Street.
So I've had my first TV job on Emmerdale.
Stop procrastinating like I did for many months, many years, and just do it, give it a go. Because I don't think they'd be disappointed.
Go for it. If you're serious about it and you want to make changes to your acting career, then definitely go for it.
I got the money back instantly just by doing one little role in a TV show. So I can't complain really.
Although it's perhaps scary to sort of take the plunge because maybe it's hard to put yourself out there and risk failure, there's also the other side of it, which is the huge reward that if you do it and put the time in and do the emails, you'll then get the thing you've probably been dreaming about for the last 10 years. So you might as well just do it now.
actonthis.tv/first. I love that, Josh. You make me laugh on that every time. I got my money back just doing one TV job. That's the whole point of the program, by the way. I'll be completely upfront and honest with you guys. It's expensive. It's a 12-month commitment. It's not cheap. The program, there's payment plans and stuff available, but the program is 750 quid. But the whole point of the program is to basically ensure that you get that money back from the first TV job that you do. I mean, I don't think money's something we talk about enough in the industry. I don't think actors really know how much you get paid for certain things, but, literally 2 or 3 lines on a soap would probably pay about 800 quid. So that's literally, sort of how it works. I mean, me and Petch did a job in Ireland for half a day for the BBC 3 job. That was $3,000. I did half a day on something called After the Flood for ITV. A couple of weeks ago, that was just over £2,000. Like, there's a lot of money in smaller roles in TV than, obviously there's huge amounts of money in the bigger roles. But I'm completely open and transparent about money because I think it's something that is at the center of so many actors' lives. What's the one thing actors completely, they talk about all the time is, I don't have enough money, I'm struggling, maybe I should just get a proper job and have some stability. If you actually know how this industry works and you every day you show up and you market yourself properly and you really just understand the business of the business, this industry can be more stable. It's never going to be like rock solid, is it? It's not going to be like a concrete career where you know exactly what job's coming next. Nobody does, even for actors. I know actors who star in shows, and they might have starred in the same show for 4 seasons, 5 seasons, and when that season is coming to an end and there's no renewal, they get a bit nervous because they're like, right, I'm accustomed to this certain lifestyle now, and now I don't know where my next job is coming from. So it's never going to be completely stable, but it can be way more stable than most actors think it is. So if you want to get on that program, if you want to be one of those first 100, actsonthis.tv/first. There's loads of bonuses we give away as well. It's not just that program. There's lots of other stuff that's included if you're one of the first few to sign up for that. But it will open for registration, I think, the last Saturday in July. I think it's about the 29th, is it, or something like that? Let me just check the date on that if I've got the dates. Where is July? The year's going fast, isn't it? It's going. Oh, Petch is on holiday in July as well. Nice one, Petch. That means I'm going to have to be holding the fort on my own that week, folks. 29th of July. What I normally do is I do a free training as well that you can come to for nothing. It won't cost anything at all, where I will still teach you a lot of the principles from this program. So even if you're not in a position to jump on a program like this, I know it's a fair chunk of change. Like I say, payment plans will be available. I don't expect people to... I mean, some people want to pay it all up front, and you can do that. Other people want to spread the costs a little bit. But if you're just not in the position to do that, I would never recommend... I don't want people to go into debt for anything like this, and stuff like that. I still do a free training where I want to give you as much value as possible to at least give you some of the principles from this program for free, so that you can start implementing those, and maybe you want to do this program down the line or something. So I'll let everybody know about that. But if you get on the waiting list, actsonthis.tv/first, you'll find out about that free training before anyone else as well. Again, there's limited places on that because my Zoom account can't hold more than 500 people, because Zoom's bloody expensive. I'm not paying for 1,000 seats, so that'll be first come first serve. We normally get the full 500 people on that free training as well. So 29th of July. If you've got any questions about it whatsoever, actsonthis.tv /first, you can find watch that testimonial video. But email me ross@actsonthis.tv. I'll answer any questions anybody's got. But if you're really serious, what I want on that program are 100 actors who really are ready. They may be sick and tired of feeling sick and tired of this industry, and they're ready to put the work in. It really has transformed so many people's careers. Even if they've not got that first TV credit just yet, they're getting regular auditions for stuff. I can't go and do the auditions for you. That's something that's out of my control. But I can absolutely pretty much guarantee, if you implement the strategies, that you will start landing auditions with decent casting directors for decent roles in decent shows. And that's more than a lot of actors are getting right now, because they don't know how the business of the business really works. So let us know if you've got any questions about that in the chat now as well. Let's have a look. Kanke says, recommended, got my agent off the back of that program, responses from casting directors, and got on Spotlight. Nice one, Kanke. It's only a matter of time till you book that job as well. Free training is going to be that morning, Katora. It'll be 10 a.m. on the 29th of July. Write it in your diary now. I've not advertised it yet. I literally just set that date tonight. Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. on the 29th of July will be when that free training happens. And it's normally 2 hours. It's pretty in-depth. But after that training is when I normally open the doors to the full program. So if you want to guarantee you get a place, be on that training, because nearly all 100 places went on the first webinar, that first free training last year. I think we did about 78 or something like that. And then I think we repeated the training the week after because some people couldn't make it, and then it sold out completely. So be on that, even if it's free. Even if it's just a free training, be on that, definitely. Lee, you're asking about the Ultimate Contacts database. So yeah, it is only for annual members, mate. I know that it's a tricky one. It's just it's a reward for people who commit to 12 months up front, and I get it. There'll be people who are like, oh, but I've been a member for a year. Do I not get access to it now? It's very tricky because it gets updated every every month. So to keep a track of who's got access to it and how long people have been a member and whether they've still got it, or if they are a member for 12 months and then they cancel their membership in month 13, I'd have to go in manually and somehow take that away, and they can download it anyway and then just run off with it. to be fair to everybody, it's tied to an annual membership, so it makes it really easy to give people access to. And like, if you've got an annual membership, it's instantly in your members area. As soon as you cancel your annual membership, it's automatically revoked. It's sort of like it would be an absolute nightmare for me to have to keep an eye on how many months someone's been a member for, like in like on the bounce, because people would be like, oh, I've been a member for 12 months, and if they cancel in month 13, then I'm like, it's just a real tricky one to keep an eye on that. So ultimately you will save money. The point is as well, it's free. The Ultimate Contacts Database is not something we ever sell. It will save you money if you pay 27 quid a month for your membership now, which is what monthly membership is. If you're joining today, you'll effectively get nearly 2 months membership for free if you go yearly. So you'll save, like, what will you save? Like 50 quid or something. Plus, you will get that Ultimate Contacts Database for nothing. So it's an incentive there to go, if you want to save money and get this for free. It's taken us 150 hours to produce, and it is part of, one of the ways to get it is it's part of First TV Roll Fast Track. If you buy that program, you will have it for life. So, because you get access to that program for life. It's expensive. It's 750 quid. So if you buy that program, you get the Ultimate Contacts Database and you get free updates for life. So, until I die, for my life. So yeah, that is one way to get it, regardless of your membership, but it's something that we don't ever sell separately, unfortunately. It's too valuable, man. It's too valuable. It really is too valuable. It's game changing. It literally is every casting director, casting assistant, casting associate, all their email addresses, their social media details, their IMDb pages, their spotlight pages, the shows they are known for casting. We've got pages for like the serial dramas. We've got an agent section for agents in the north, the south, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, who's in the PMA, who's not in the PMA, all their spotlight pages, IMDb pages, every agent within the agency, individual emails. It's such a mammoth undertaking. It would save you 150 hours of your own time trying to create that on your own. Because I know people try and create it on their own, but they just don't have the contacts to keep it up to date. It's almost, by the time you would make a sheet like that, it would be out of date. You'd have to go back to the beginning and go, is this casting assistant still at this place? Is this associate still at this place? Something that we try and keep tabs on literally hourly. So if we see someone's move, we'll change them on the database. Well worth it. Josh Aldcroft, how you doing, mate? First TV Roll Fast Track. Josh, how many TV jobs have you had now? Josh took First TV Roll Fast Track last year. What are you on now, Josh? You must be on like job 4. He's up for a regular now in Doctors. Josh is crushing it, and he's joining us tonight from San Francisco. So, Josh, I hope you're good, man. Thanks for being here. But yeah, let us know what TV job you're up to, because it's not just your first, mate. You had your first dead quick, and now you're on like job number 4 or something like that. Definitely great to see you, dude. Right, we got 5 minutes left. What else did I want to talk about? So I wanted to talk about this Thursday for members of actonthis.tv. I'm dropping a podcast with this guy here, one of the best directors I have ever worked with. He directed me on a brand new ITV drama, comes out later this year or maybe early next year, called After the Flood, shot here in Manchester. His name is Azhar Salim, one of the nicest, most chilled directors you will ever meet in your life. Real great story of resilience, getting no after no in his directing career and just getting up again like we have to as actors and just cracking on to the point where, and you'll hear in this podcast, we go all around the houses basically, like to how he got his first job directing Doctor Who. He got no's and no's and no's after, like, one after the other to the point where he went, I can't do it, and he had to go for financial reasons and work in an Apple store for 2 years. But he still didn't give up on his dream, and he chose to work in an Apple store because obviously he knew he would come into contact with other creatives, people who would be editors potentially, and other filmmakers. He thought, look, I'm a director, my career's not working out, I don't have much money right now, I'm going to have to get a day job. But he did that and met some incredible people, and that kind of changed a lot of stuff for him as well, till one day he got an email from someone from Warner Brothers, which is very, very interesting. Anyway, now he's just directed a Neil Gaiman show called Anansi Boys, which is starring some brilliant names. He directed Whoopi Goldberg in that. And he talks about that in that chat, about, why he thinks Whoopi Goldberg is a megastar effectively, and like how nice she is and what's got her to where she's at right now. We talk quite deep about life. all kinds of stuff. That's dropping for you guys, an exclusive for members of actsonthis.tv Thursday morning. So make sure you listen to that. The reason I wanted to bring Gaz on is I wanted to introduce him to you, because I'm trying to bring you people who I think should be on your radar. And, you know, he also talks about how you can send him your show reel, the kind of actors he likes, what he wants to see. I'm just trying to put in front of you on a plate the people who I know can change your careers if you actually start having conversations with them. Then next Tuesday? Next Tuesday. We have got this incredible director coming to join us for a session. Debbie Howard, absolute legend. Has been an actor, is now a director. She's a producer, got her own production company. She's currently directing Coronation Street and Emmerdale, and just seems like a bloody lovely person. Has anyone here ever worked with Debbie? I've just seen lots of her on Twitter, but I've never worked with her. I don't know too much about her, but I just know that everybody says she's amazing. And Debbie's going to be joining us, next Tuesday night for a member-only Zoom call, 7:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. On Zoom, just for all members of actsonthis.tv. We're going to be talking about getting on Debbie's casting radar. Ultimately, she's literally shooting Emmerdale right now. She just finished the block of Coronation Street. There's a lot of people here who want to be on those shows. If you want to know how to get on Debbie's casting radar so you can potentially be on those shows, be there for that. I just found out today as well, by the way, Kelly Valentine Hendry, again, one of the biggest casting directors in our industry, cast everything. Oh my God, massive stuff. Bridgerton, Queen Charlotte, huge shows. Kelly is going to be doing a session with us in July as well, end of July. If you literally want to sit at home and have me introduce you to the biggest names in the industry and then tell you directly whilst you eat your tea how you can get your show really in front of them, how you can ultimately get auditions from them, with or without an agent, join actsonthis.tv. You are just letting everyone else who is a member get ahead of you if you're not a member, basically. But yeah, Kelly's incredible. She's so kind as well. So bloody nice and supportive, like really supportive. I first interviewed Kelly 12 years ago, probably one of the first podcasts I ever did for actsonthis.tv with her and Victor Jenkins when they used to cast together, and they were casting Broadchurch. And they were just amazing. I just thought, God, and to this day, both Victor and maybe Daniel Edwards and Kelly probably hold joint first place in terms of how many times they've come and done a feature with us, because they're just such great people. So, so many things coming up for members of actsonthis.tv. There really has never been a better time to be a member, folks. So thank you so much for being a member if you are. And if you're not, come and join the tribe. Test it out for a month. I promise you, just give us 1 month. You can cancel after a month if you hate it, but I guarantee you're going to want to stay. And Sandra says, Kelly Valentine Hendry, legend. No, she is. She's great. Really, really good. Kerry's got to go. Going to go and watch Litvinchenko. That's a new drama that starts tonight now, literally at 9 o'clock. I'll let you all go and watch that. It's got some great people in it. I saw Dan Ryan is in that as well. He tweeted before. So yeah, go and watch that, folks. And just thanks for being here. It really means the world. Look out for that podcast on Thursday night. Going to be a great one. If I can do anything for you, please tweet me at actsonthistv. You can drop me an email if you want, ross@actsonthis.tv, particularly if you've got questions about First TV or Fast Track. So excited to bring that back this year. It's 5 of the best weeks of my life when I coach that program. It really is amazing taking people through that. Would love to see you take part in that if you're really committed and really serious to making a change in your career this year. And what should I play again? I've not got loads of videos to finish with tonight. What have we got here that I can maybe play for you? Should I play the Stephen Bartlett success video again? For those people who haven't seen that, this is quite cool. I met Stephen Bartlett, host of Diary of a CEO. You'll see him on Dragon's Den as well, one of the most successful young entrepreneurs in the country. I met him at a conference recently and asked him, I gave him one of his own conversation cards that he uses on his podcast, The Diary of a CEO. And I got him to answer the question. And the question was all about his definition of success. I think it's a really interesting definition. And I think the definition does apply to the job of an actor. When you look at each of these 5 points, they do apply to the job of an actor, to being an actor. But you need to be very, very aware, particularly on the point that he mentions about autonomy and control. A lot of actors feel they don't have autonomy and control in their career. You do. You absolutely have control of your career. There's a lot more you can control than you think you can. And the one thing you can control is your output every day to move towards the outcome that you want. You can't ever guarantee the outcome, but if you work every day, I promise you, good things will happen. So check this out. We'll end on this. And I'll catch up with you guys, later in the week. Leave me a comment on that podcast once you've watched it. Tweet at on this TV. We'd love to know your biggest takeaway. Love to you all. I'll check the comments one last time before I play this, but I think we're all good. Josh, we said Josh is in San Francisco. I think we're good. Lovely to see you, Maya, as well. Says, hope you have a great week, everybody. And everybody else is just saying thanks and good night. Yeah, amazing. Thanks, folks. And we got through those technical problems at the beginning. Check this out. Let us know what you think and what your definition of success is. Until next time, love to you all. Bye for now.
Back on this TV Nation, still at VCon 2023. Stephen Bartlett in the house. I'm loving it. We've got some conversation cards, Diary of a CEO conversation cards. Matt Hall is on hand. We need you to choose one, Steve, and we're just throwing it back on you now.
James Smith, what a legend. He's been on 2 times now. And the question is, what is your definition of success?
Oh, okay.
Which is really interesting because it has evolved as I've evolved and I've matured and understood life a little bit better. 5 pillars to success in my professional context. So the first is, if I am challenged.
Yep.
That's really, really important because motivation psychologists know that if something's too easy, you lose motivation.
Yep.
If something's too difficult, you lose motivation as well. If something is incrementally challenging, you'll stay motivated and engaged. So the first point is something has to be challenging me professionally. The second, which people don't often realize, is autonomy. Now, autonomy is important for your psychological engagement, but it's actually really important for your health. You need to have a high degree of control in your work. When people don't have a high degree of control, they get sick, they have a higher chance of getting cardiac issues and higher blood pressure and all these things. 3 was progress principle. When Harvard Business Review interviewed everybody, tens of thousands of people, and asked them what their most enjoyable day was in work, they all indicate that it's a day when they had a sense of progress in their job. So important for galvanizing teams, but also for loving what you're doing. 4th one, I'm going to say, is having a goal that's subjectively meaningful.
Right.
So my podcast is so unbelievably meaningful, but it doesn't really matter what it is, as long as for you, whether it's raising a kid or walking your dog, having a goal at the end of that challenge and struggle that is subjectively meaningful for you. Number 5 is the most important, which is working with a group of people that you really, really like. And then a job is amazing. So that's what success is for me. And in everything I'm doing, whether it's the podcast or my companies or my fund, it's those 5 principles: worthwhile goals, challenge, sense of forward motion, working with people I love, and having a high degree of control. That's what success is for me.